Okay, so today is obviously a full body. Okay, we're going to be looking at shoulders and obviously the hips, lower body, and the spine as well. Let's make sure we have a towel that we can work with. But to start off with this morning, what we'll do is, if you've got something that we can sit on, that would be amazing. Okay, if you don't, that's okay as well. Okay, you can just sit on the ground, okay, on your knees. Okay, so effectively what we're going to do here, guys, is we're going to kind of just use our breath and start to kind of work our spine with our breath. This is something that we introduced last Friday as part of our front split work, okay? So effectively what we're gonna be doing here, guys, is we're gonna be taking the hip out of the equation because we're sitting down, okay? So everything has to come from the upper body. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna just take a breath in. As we breathe in, we're going to roll those thumbs in, look to spread the shoulders, tuck the chin in, and effectively round the upper back as much as possible. As I breathe out, I'm going to push that chest forward. Okay, I'm going to lift my chest up to the ceiling. My head comes up as well. I can roll my hands back. Look at my thumbs. I'm rolling my thumbs back to open the shoulders and extend the spine a little bit. Again, I can pause here for a second or two, and I'm going to reverse engineer. As I breathe in, I'm going to round. Now, a couple of things with this is, you can go straight across. You can come down as much as possible as well. So there's no limitation to where you can bend or, what angles you want to bend at or extend at, okay? We're just going to open the space up for 2 minutes, okay? So just connecting that breath and moving that spine to your breath, okay? So if you're all good, let's get it on. Okay, just nice and simple. As we breathe in, we make that back rounded. As we breathe out, okay, even with the arm positions, you can play with it. Last one. Okay, and rest. Okay, once you're done. From here, gang, all we're gonna do is we're gonna stand up. Nice and straightforward, nothing too crazy. Okay, we're just gonna start with a basic neck rotation. We'll make our way downstairs a little bit. Okay, so pretty straightforward. Okay, all we're gonna do is tuck the chin in. Nice and simple, eyes are open into a neck rotation. So today's warm-up is joint rotations, pretty straightforward, okay? And then we're gonna actually hit a few reps and sets today. So we've been working mostly on longer holds. Let's change directions, guys. We've been working mostly on longer holds, okay, during these flexibility sessions. Now we're gonna kind of actually rep a few things out. Those of us who were in the session yesterday, the whole intention is we're now changing the way we do things slightly, okay? And even the get bend session is going to reflect that. So it has a compounded effect. From here, nice and still, looking straight ahead. I would suggest just kind of having your fingers lightly touching your thighs. And what I'm going to do is just standing at 45. What we're going to do is we're going to bring the shoulder girdle up to our ears. So we're elevating our shoulders. We're going to round. So we're going to protract and then depress and then retract. So the idea is I'm just moving at the shoulder girdle, okay, without really swinging my arms or moving my spine or my neck, okay? So just nice and simple, nothing crazy. And this is like your opportunity to kind of just assess your shoulder girdle, like, you know, really think about the forwards, the protraction, depression, and retraction. Elevation, you know, we're really good at that, right? So just focus on those other three areas we normally don't pay attention to. Let's reverse it. So we can start with retraction, depression, and then protraction, then elevation. So that would be squeeze down, forward, up. Squeeze down, forwards, up. I'm glad the bakery is on downstairs because all the heat is coming up. So although it's a cold morning, it's very, very warm. This is my way of saying I need to take my jumper off. Okay, keep it going. It smells amazing too. Okay. Okay, from here, okay, nice and simple. We're going to just place our hands onto our hips. Now make sure the feet are relatively wide. Okay, so somewhere just outside the shoulders, maybe even a little bit wider. Okay. And what we're going to do here, guys, is we're going to just keep the knees locked out. Okay, toes are facing forward, hands on the hips. We're going to just create a big kick out circle from the hips. So hips shift to the side. We're going to hinge back as much as possible, or trying to get that butt to reach as far back as possible. Hit the corners, and then we're going to push the hips as far forward as possible. Remember, legs are straight at all times. Okay, make sure your glutes are on somewhat to make sure that nothing is being cranked through the lower back region. Okay, so just nice and smooth, just exploring these nooks and cranny. Okay, make sure your feet is firm and you're allowing that spine to effectively counterbalance, okay, in the opposite direction to your hip. Okay, so if your hip is reaching to the right, okay, your head is going to probably be to the left. All right, so just nice and simple, nothing crazy. And then let's change directions. So again, the legs are firm. And the slower you go, okay, probably the more load, more tension you can uphold as well, or sustain at least, okay? Just because you can go into that space a little bit deeper. So just be mindful. We don't need to rush through this. It's not about how many reps can we get in there, okay? So just think about how you're doing this. And again, you know, with the spine, be a little playful, okay? Explore different angles potentially. That's gonna load the hips up or the adductors or the hamstring in different positions. And rest. Okay, from here, we're just gonna take it down to the ankles, okay, then work our way up a little bit, okay? So all we're gonna do, nice and simple, guys, okay? I'm gonna choose to stand on my left legs, just soften that knee if I need to for balance. It helps to kind of have a focal point that I can look at. It's gonna help with my stability. I'm gonna just raise my toes in front of me, and I'm going to look to just rotate at the ankles, okay? So imagine your big toe is a pen, and you're trying to draw as much of a big circle as possible. Okay, again, slow process. We don't need to do a windmill. Okay, Jess, I'm looking at you. Okay, so just nice and simple, slow, and try draw as much of a big circle as possible. And again, cracking and popping is normal. Okay, let's reverse that circle. Okay, so you may find that one direction is far more coordinated and more accessible, yet the other just feels a little bit uncoordinated, okay? And that's okay as well. So just slow it down and just, keep following that principle of being able to draw a big circle, okay? I don't know if you can hear my ankles clicking, but they're clicking quite a lot. Finish that rep off. We'll go to the other side. Okay, so simply again, just nice and simple, looking at one focal point. Let's start to create that circle through the big toe. So obviously we looked at the hips, okay, the lower body, the shoulders at a very different light yesterday. Not sure how the body's feeling for you guys. But that sort of work we did yesterday, it's slightly different to what we have been doing, obviously, the structured work. Let's change. Simple. And last rep. And finish it off. Okay, shaking it off. Okay, so from here, last little bit that we're going to get into. Now, this is going to be kind of, getting into the knees, the ankles, and the hips. Okay, all simultaneously a little bit. What we're going to do is take it old school. Feet are going to be fairly close together. Okay, the inside edges potentially touching together. Okay, and what we're going to do here, guys, is we're going to just hang on to our knees. Okay, with our hands, and the knees will be obviously bent here. What we're going to say today is we're just going to kind of go, okay, for a minute one way, then the other way. And often what we say is, hey, let's make sure the heels are onto the ground at all times. And then the second layer that we lay on is that heels coming up because we're trying to reach that toes as far forward as possible. So what we're going to say today, guys, is, we're going to go for a minute per side. And, if it feels good, we can lift the heels up to reach as far ahead of the toe as possible. So you may start with everything just grounded, okay, creating this circle. And then slowly and gradually, you may slowly lift the heels up to reach a little bit further away. But again, make sure it's a slow, controlled rotation, please. Okay, once we're ready, we'll go in 4, 3, 2, 1. Just nice and simple. Okay, so again, nothing too crazy. Maybe start with, having everything flush on the ground. Obviously, the edges of your feet are definitely going to be lifted off a little bit. Okay, really think about driving those knees past your toes and to those corners you otherwise would normally go. Okay, and if you're feeling comfortable, you can allow the heels to come up a little bit just to kind of reach a little bit further. Okay, that's halfway already, guys. Okay, so we've got 30 seconds in this direction. Again, you may get a lot of crunching. Okay, a lot of cracking and popping sort of noises there. Okay, normal. Okay, what it isn't normal is obviously pain. Okay, so we're not looking for pain. You should be able to control this. Last circle. And let's go straight into the next one. Okay, change direction. So again, maybe start with both feet flush on the ground initially. And then allow those heels to come off slightly in order to push those knees a little bit more forward. Okay. Obviously, you'll start to see the hips are also having to work here. They're starting to counterbalance what's happening below you. Last repetition and rest. Okay, so from here, guys, we need a towel, please. Okay, so we're gonna go into our shoulders. And we're gonna start with that shoulder dislocation that we've been working with. And again, the intent here, guys, because think about the shoulder girdle work that we did, you know, the elevation, protraction, depression, retraction. So the stuff, the movement of the shoulder joint needs to be those 4 key landmarks, okay? What we're gonna say is, effectively, remember, the wider the hands, the easier it's going to be, okay? So maybe start a little bit wide, then gradually, as it gets a little bit more comfortable, as the joints get a little bit more greased up, you can start to walk your hands in a little bit. But that walking in is also a little bit small. It's not a gigantic step in. So a couple of details. With the spine, we want to keep the rib cage down, okay? So making sure we're not starting to use the back to extend, okay? What we're going to do here, guys, okay, rib cage down. We're going to protract. We're going to elevate. We're going to retract, meaning squeeze the shoulder blades here, depress, and then reverse engineer, okay? So retract. We're going to elevate, protract, and come down, okay? Let's go. Just nice and simple, okay? Squeeze down. Make sure the rib cage is down. Okay, so effectively, whether it's a dowel or a towel or a band, whatever you're working with, okay, it is going away from the middle of your body, no matter where the hands are. Okay, so if it's behind me, I'm reaching back. If it's overhead, I'm reaching up to the ceiling. If it's in front of me, I'm reaching in front of me. Okay, so you want to make sure you are creating some space in the shoulder joint without compensating at the lower back of the spine. So you're not arching your back, okay? Remember, as you get a little bit warmer, you can walk your hands in ever so slightly. But again, we shouldn't be feeling pinching sensation in the shoulders or having to bend one elbows just to make that move real. Last one. Okay, so that was what we consider shoulder dislocations, okay? And that happens in front of this plane. What we'll do is we'll go into inlocates, which is the same thing. However, what we're gonna do now is the towel goes back behind us, okay? And the palms, so everybody's on the same wavelength, palms being this, okay, is always in front. So it's facing forward. So I'm going to effectively look at my palms, they're facing forward. The towel is back behind me, okay? And again, we're gonna look to kind of basically hit those key landmarks again. Now your hands may need to be a lot wider for this one, okay? Same principles, rib cage is down. We're going to come back behind us by squeezing, elevation, protraction, internal rotation, then down, and then boom. Okay, so again, start a lot wider than you did beforehand. Like build a trust essentially, right? Kind of get familiar with this slightly new position, if you like. And then if you're feeling confident, you can walk your hands ever so slightly in, okay? So this is a lot more compromising position for the shoulders than the one that we started with, okay? Because we're working with now a little bit of an internal rotation, okay? So not only does the shoulder girdle have to do those things that I had to do before, but now the shoulder joint and the socket has to do something funky as well. Obviously, the elbows are locked throughout this. One last one. and rest. Okay. So let's keep that towel handy for the time being, because we are going to come and do something very, very similar for the shoulders, okay? Just to kind of move the joint a little bit. We're going to take it downstairs, and we've been working a bunch of hip external stretches, right? So we've been holding those active pigeons for some time. You know, on front split days, we've been doing the seated piriformis one, okay, that crazy one that we drop the shoulders in. What we're going to go this morning is we're going to go into active pigeons, okay? So what I want you to think about here is you're going to be seated onto the ground. We're going to effectively have the front leg in front of us like the normal pigeon. We're going to throw that hip across too. Now, the only detail that I want to be slightly different is we're going to tuck the balls of our feet underneath us. We can also have the knees slightly lifted up, okay? Now, the knees are lifted up because I'm using my butt on the back leg, okay? From the front leg, the same cues apply, guys. Really, really critical, okay? So making sure this angle of the front knee is important, okay? Because we don't want to crank the knee, okay? So we don't want it to be so regressed that we don't feel it in the butt, but make sure we're not cranking it up, okay? So feel good rather than trying to look good, okay? So from here, nice and simple, throw ourselves over. We're gonna pop the back knee off. And then a couple of details. If you try posture up too much, you're probably gonna feel this through the lower back region. So your range of motion may be just here. This is mine, okay, this morning. So make sure there is nothing being cranked to the lower back. All we're gonna do is we're gonna do 10 reps and hold the last rep for 10 seconds. Okay, so the active is gonna be this. We're gonna hug the elbows. We're gonna lean forward from the spine, look up, and then come up. That'll be number one. Okay, let's go for 10 reps on me. Here we go. Hug the elbows, reach forward, and then up. This is number one. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, eyes gaze up a little bit, 7, 8, 9, last one, we're gonna hold here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, posture up, and then boom, fall to the side, and you can exit. Okay, so we'll go to the other side. Remember, one side will feel a little bit different, okay? So again, follow the principles for that very reason. Okay, remember, we're gonna tuck the back toes underneath us, back knees off. And again, find that stretch already. Make sure you're in a position, okay? Hands in front of you. Once you're ready, let's get to it. So we're gonna hinge, eyes are up, and dropping up. That'll be number 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, posture up, and then boom, coming out of it. Okay, so as we stand up, guys, let's grab those towels straight off the bat. Okay. And what we're going to do here is a little bit around the world. Okay, so we're going to do 5 in each direction. So this is going to require a little bit of a coordination. Okay, so again, our shoulders are slightly open. Make sure we got this, okay, distance appropriate for us. Again, no pinching in the shoulders or whatsoever. Legs are roughly under the hips. This is the motion we're going to go into. Look at this, okay? We're going to keep the elbows locked throughout the movement. We're going to reach to one side, come back behind us, touch the butt. We're going to exit through the other side, okay? So we're going to go 5 reps, okay, in this manner. Now, you can sort of move your spine to accommodate this if you want, but ideally we want to keep the spine still so everything is coming out of the shoulders. That's 5 for me. I'm going to change directions. And boom. Okay, that's my 5 each. Once that's done, I'm going to come to the ground again. Okay. Once you've done 5 per side, we'll go into second set of our active pigeon again, guys. Okay, so same thing, 10 reps, 10-second hold. On that 10-second hold, if you are feeling strong and stable, you can take those hands off and reach back behind you, okay? But again, that is not a necessity, okay? And I'd rather you be in control than trying to survive down there, okay? So hands in front of us, pop the back knee off. Find that angle that's good for your hinge. And then here we go, coming down, eyes are up and up for 1, 2, use your hands, guys. Ground is your best friend. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and here we go. We're gonna hang out here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna posture up and then boom, out of there. Okay, to the other side. Remember, ground is your best friend, guys. Okay, so we want to make sure that you are in control, okay, of all these movements. So position, we're going to pop the back knee off because we should have the balls of our feet off the ground. Okay, sorry, balls of the feet on the ground, knees off the ground. Hands, spine position, and let's take that hinge and drive up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, here we go, and 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, posture, and back off. Beautiful. Okay, so from here, quick drink of water if you need to. Okay, we're going to go into a basic shoulder hold. Okay, so 2 positions, and then we're going to get into some middle split strength work. So continuing with the upper body theme, guys, very, very basic, okay? We're gonna go into our shoulder extension. Now, let me just pin my video. Okay, so guys who are watching this later on can see what's happening. So effectively what we're gonna do here, guys, okay, is we're gonna have those fingers pointed back behind us. Remember, okay, hands a little bit close together, it's going to be challenging. A little bit wider, it's going to be a little bit more accessible. Okay, so if you've got really tight shoulders, maybe hands a tad wider. The key thing is to make sure these next 2 moves, okay, at the shoulders, is being held at the shoulders, not, okay, at the arms. Okay, so, you know, what I mean by that is if you hyperextend the elbows, you're probably going to feel this at the wrist, maybe the elbows. Okay, we're looking to open the front of our shoulders by using, okay, and being strong through the back, the upper back in particular. So fingertips are back, okay? What we're gonna do is we're going to squeeze, so retract our shoulders, so lift the chest up, but this is not an excuse to kind of dump into the lower back. So lift out of the lower back, we're going to slowly scoot our butt as far as we can, safely. And then look, we can just look to straighten our legs, head up, and we wanna continue to push the ground away and lift ourselves up, okay? We're gonna go for a minute, so if everybody's ready, fingertips, squeeze and lift, slowly scoot the butt out, find the position. We'll go in 3, 2, 1. So again, this isn't a very exciting position, but it can feel a little bit compromising, okay? Especially if we lack the stability of the shoulders. So the focus solely is on, am I pushing my fingertips and my palm into the ground? Am I lifting my chest nice and proud? Am I able to squeeze the shoulder blades of the back? Okay, so again, different people with different structures are going to feel it, okay, in different areas. So today I'm feeling this to the crease in my biceps, okay. If you were to squeeze the shoulders, we get to expand that chest. So you may feel it through the pecs or the chest area. Make sure you got that weight evenly distributed on your hands as well. So you're not kind of like favoring one side, guys. Okay, keep lifting up, strong and stable. Once you're ready, just bend those knees and then bring it back. Boom. Okay, that's a minute. Shake it off. We're gonna turn onto our front. And for this one, guys, we're gonna go into this shoulder opener. So kind of, hands in front of us, the shoulder flexion position. So the key thing kind of to remember here again is, although our hands are reaching forward, everything is being held at this scap, okay, at the shoulder blade level. Now, throughout this work, what I want you to think about is the shoulder blades, although they're in the back of your ribs, okay, you want them to be facing down as much as possible. That's my way of saying wrap your shoulders, okay, rather than just allow them to come, okay, drop forwards like this, okay. So effectively what we're going to do is bum is going to be over the knees. We're going to take that, okay, hand forward. We're going to wrap the shoulders as I was just talking about. Look and tuck the bum. We're going to drop that chest down towards the ground without collapsing at the shoulders. Now that's the PPT. So remember that posterior tilt. Halfway through, so at 30-second mark, I'm going to say to you, hey, drop the belly button. So again, keeping that shoulder blades wrapped, you're going to drop that belly button. So look, you're going to arch your back. So we've got two positions at the hips, posterior and anterior, that we'll be playing with. Okay, so let's go. We're going to hold this for a minute. Okay, we'll go in for 3, posterior tilt and wrap, and let's press down. Okay, so your shoulder blades are trying to face the ground. You're wrapping your armpits. You're drawing your belly button to the back of the spine or the ceiling right now. The bum is tucked underneath, and your intention is to bring the armpits to the ground, the belly button to the ground without collapsing in the spine or the shoulders. So you're actively pulling yourself to the ground, but you're staying strong to the back of your body. Now from here, keeping the shoulders still wrapped, you're gonna unwind the hips. So drop that belly button down towards the ground in order to allow that lower back to arch. You may need to lift your head up a little bit so your eyes are gazed up between your hands. Keep wrapping the armpits and then try touch the ground with your chest and your belly button. Bum is nice and high. 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly out of there. Okay. Rest. Okay. Whew. Hopefully everybody's in one piece. Okay. So what we're going to do here, guys, okay, that's the shoulder opened a little bit. We're going to go downstairs. We're going to rep and set a few things for our hips. Now, we want to make sure that to do this, okay, if you're super tight restricted, it's much better to bring the ground up to you. So maybe kind of buy a couch or, have a stool or something like that. That's fine. But most of us should be fine just working with the ground, okay? So the two things that we're going to go into, so everybody's super clear on what we're doing, okay, is one thing is going to look at allowing us to open the hips up more, okay, to the lower body in this middle split position, pancake position. And the second move is going to be utilizing that, kind of openness that body's kind of gone through to actually create some strength, okay, so to do some strength work at those end ranges. So we're going to go into a simple, straightforward active middle split. Okay, this is a dynamic variation. So we're going to heel toe out as far as we can. Okay, remember the toes are facing forward. And again, maybe stay, one step behind what you think you should be doing to start off with, just till you kind of build the trust. Remember, we're going to do this again. All right. So from here, nice and postured up. I'm squeezing my thighs, okay, because this means my legs are locked out, okay. From here, I'm going to hinge at the hips. I'm going to find the ground with my hands, my fingertips, whatever, okay. Then I'm going to look to place my elbows, maybe touch my head, and then I'm going to slowly posture up and then stand tall, okay, in that starting position. So this is what we're going to be doing, okay, for 6 reps, okay. Now we're going to be holding it at the each end range position for about 3 seconds, okay. So we spend some quality time there. So again, making sure we're working with the range of motion that we can sustain that workload, okay. So there's no point going so far that we have to keep shuffling back in, okay. It's better to shuffle out, okay, than in. So if everybody's ready, let's arrive in this position, okay. Nice and tall. And then we're going to just hinge, find the ground, slowly place those elbows, maybe the rest ahead or just, okay, wherever you can for 3, 2, 1. Keeping the legs firm, slowly posturing up, coming up and hanging out here for 3, 2, 1. Hinging, finding the ground. 3, 2, 2. Coming up. Nice and tall. 3, 2, 2. Coming down, finding the ground. 3, 2, 3. Posturing up. 3, 2, 3. 3, 2, 4. 3, 2, 4. 3, 2, 5. 3, 2, 5. Last one. 3, 2, 6. 3, 2, 6. And exit strategy, as always, is up to you. Whew. Okay. So from here, we're going to literally sit onto the ground. Now, again, okay, we want to make sure that if you're really restricted, it's better off to raise your hips up off the ground so you can sit comfortably, okay, and be actually able to hinge at the hips as opposed to rounding your lower back to reach forward, okay? So if you need to grab a cushion, maybe a couple of those encyclopedias that are sitting on the shelves that you never read, okay, or whatever, okay? So just to kind of raise the hips off. But otherwise, we're going to be in this position. And same thing, we want to make sure that we're not so wide, okay, that when it comes to doing the strength work, we can't lift our legs up, okay? So again, stay, 1 to 2 steps behind what you think you should be doing for the time being, okay? Obviously, you can refine this and build on this a little bit, okay, later on. So what we're going to do is 3 things, okay? Elbow to elbow. We're going to hinge forward, point those toes. Okay, we're trying to use everything that we have in front of our body to close that gap between the ground and myself, my torso. I'm going to come up. Now we're going to go for 10 hinges, okay? From there, hands in front of you, toes are pointed. We're going to do 10 leg lifts, okay? This is where the legs may want to come in a little bit because we're not strong in that wide range. 10 leg lifts, and then we're going to hold the 10th leg lift for 10 seconds. Okay, so one more time. The protocol is 10 hinges, 10 leg lifts, and then 10-second hold in the air. Okay, so let's get busy. Cool? Here we go. Elbow to elbow, posturing up. Toes are pulled back to initiate. And then we're going to reach forward, point those toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hands in front of you, push the world away, and let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Okay. Okay. So The good news is we get to do it one more time, okay? And we get to improve on what we just did there, okay? So if everybody is cool with that, let's get up. Bear with me, okay? Let me just do this. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, here we go, okay? Oops. Okay, so middle split, heel toe out as much as we can. Okay, nice and straightforward, toes are pointed forward. And then we're gonna hinge, find the ground. Should feel a little bit better than the last one for 3, 2, 1. Posture up, nice and big. 3, 2, 1. Hinge, find the ground. 3, 2, 2. 3, 2, 2. 3, 2, 3. 3, 2, 3. Hinging, find the ground. 3, 2, 4. 3, 2, 4. 3, 2, 5. 3, 2, 5. 3, 2, 6. 3, 2, 6. And out of there. Thank goodness. Okay. Okay, from there, we're going to go into that strength work again. Okay, so that straddle protocol. So remember, toes are pointed. You want to make sure, guys, especially when it comes to that leg lift, that you're lifting at the hip crease. Another way to think about it is like you're trying to lift your hamstrings up. So you shouldn't be like bending at the knees. Okay, yeah. Here we go. So elbow to elbow, posturing up. Point those toes, squeeze those quads. Let's reach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hands, toes are pointed, lean forward, and let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Okay. Okay. So from there, we're going to go into a little bit of upper body and behind the body now. Okay. So effectively what we need is that towel again, guys. Okay. And we've done a bunch of opening for our shoulders. So the idea here now is pretty straightforward. We're going to effectively look to create some strength work on those end ranges, okay? So this is our shoulder extension work. And for this, it's best that kind of we sit down in this low kneeling position so that, again, our hips are out of the equation, okay? So we've got less variables that could basically affect this. And then the hand or the towel is back behind us. And again, the palms, guys, is facing forward, okay? So one more time from the front, okay? My palms, okay, you can see the jazz hands here, okay, are facing forward, okay? Now from here, a couple of the golden rules, okay? We're going to look to depress, so we're gonna push down first, then we're gonna look to squeeze the shoulder blades. Keeping the palm face down at all times, I'm gonna lift as high as possible, okay? We're gonna hang out here for 5 seconds and come down, reset, then go again. Now we wanna make sure that we're not, obviously rolling ourselves forwards or starting to arch through the lower back, okay? We want to create strength through the back of the shoulders. So again, the spine is tall but rigid, okay? We're using our shoulders to come through. If you got very tight shoulders, again, maybe go a little bit wider, but if you got flexy shoulders, which most females, I'm generalizing, but most females do, okay, have your hands maybe just about shoulder width apart, okay? 5 by 5 seconds, here we go, okay? So we're going to start by dropping, squeezing, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down. Drop, squeeze, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 2. Down. Drop, squeeze, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 3. Down. Drop, squeeze, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 4. Down. Drop, squeeze, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 5. Down. That's it. Okay, we'll come back and do that again. Okay, but for this one, we're going to lie on our back. So same thing again, we're going to go 5 by 5 seconds, okay, per leg. Now we're going to be looking to really bolster, okay, the front of the hips. So we're basically kind of trying to get strong to the front of the hips. That's exactly what we try to do with the leg lifts, okay? But in order to do that, we need to have access from the hamstring. The hamstring needs to allow us to obviously go, okay, in those places. So what we're going to do is lie on our back, and we're going to make sure we hook the towel around the toes. And the toes are always going to be pointing to the ceiling, guys. Okay, so just so everybody's clear, toes, we want them to be pretty toes. Okay, yeah. Pointing to the ceiling. The cues are pretty straightforward. So, okay, we're going to start by bending the knees. Okay, so notice even that spare leg is bent. So this way, my lower back is on the ground throughout this. From here, my cues are going to be pretty straightforward. So just watch this first. I'm going to ask you to straighten your legs. Your toes should be pointed. I'm going to get you to pull. Okay, so that means you're going to use a towel to pull the legs back. You're going to feel a stretch to the back of the hamstring, which is great. But then my last cue is going to be lift, which is going to be let go of the towel a little bit. And you have to hold this new position using the strength from the front of your hips. Okay, so one more time. The cues are going to be straighten, pull, lift. And we're going to hang out here for 5 seconds. Then we're going to bend the knees again. All right. So if you're ready, let's get those towels hooked. Okay. Remember, toes are pointed away from you at all times. Okay. We're going to start with bent knee. Okay. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Straighten, pull, hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend. Straighten, pull, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 2. Bend. Straighten, pull, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 3. Bend. Straighten, lift, pull. 5, 4, 3, 2, 4. Last one. Straighten, pull, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 5. Bend. Okay. Okay, this is hard work, guys. Okay, this is why I'm screwing up my cues. Okay, so here we go. Bending the knees. Remember, the toes are pointed, and when you're holding for 5 seconds, guys, make sure you feel it at the hip crease. Okay, that's where you're lifting from. Here we go. And straighten, pull, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend. Straighten, pull, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 2. Bend. Straighten, pull, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 3. Bend. Straighten, pull, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 3. Bend. Straighten, pull, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 4. Bend. Straighten, pull, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 5. Bend. Okay. Hopefully that was 5 reps, okay? From here, guys, we're gonna go straight, okay, onto our knees. We're gonna go straight into our shoulder extension again for me, please. 5 by 5 seconds, and then we'll come back and do that, okay, leg lift offs again, okay? So hopefully this time, again, if the shoulders are feeling good, hands ever so slightly closer together, okay? Remember, create that space in the shoulder joint. Here we go. We're gonna push the shoulder girdle down, squeeze, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down. Okay, down. Squeeze, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 2. Rest. Down. Squeeze, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 3. Down. Down. Squeeze, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 4. Down. Down. Squeeze, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 5. Down. Okay. From here, straight onto our backs, please. Okay. Okay. Towel hooks around the feet. Okay. Knees are bent. Now make sure the lower back is on the ground as much as possible here, guys. Okay. Point the toes away from you. Here we go. Straighten, pull, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend. Straighten, lift, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 2. Bend. Straight, pull, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 3. Bend. Straighten, pull, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 4. Bend. Straighten, pull, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 5. Bend. Let's change it up. Okay, so we bent, point the toes away from you. Straighten, pull, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend. Straighten, pull, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 2. Bend. Straighten, pull, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 3. Boom. Straighten, pull, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 4. Bend. Straighten, pull, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 5. Bend. And rest. Okay. Okay. Quick drink of water, guys. Okay. Quick drink of water. Okay, and then last one to finish on. This one, guys, we'll need, again, maybe a couch or wall, okay, something that you can prop, okay, your leg on. We're gonna go into super couch. So finishing the session off, okay, with a hip flexor quad opener, okay? So as always, if you're working on the hard floor, it's always nicer to have something under your knees just to protect your knees, okay? This is the last piece of work that we're gonna be doing, guys. Okay, so let's make sure we kill it. And we're gonna kind of finish on a long hold, okay? So all we're gonna do here, as you guys know, laces of the foot, okay, on the wall, couch, whatever you have. Front leg is up, and I'm gonna look to posture up like so, okay? So this is the first position. Make sure we're not arching our back to start off with, okay? We can safely push back, okay? So if everybody's in this position, knees close to the box, wall, couch, whatever you have, get tall, okay? And then boom, we're gonna start the time from here. So initially what we wanna see happen here, guys, the bum is trying to come back towards the heel. And we can kind of sort of reach back behind us, just touch, whatever we have. Maybe put the hands, okay, kind of in between the heels and the bum. Rib cage is down as much as possible. Okay, so yes, we want to try touch the heel with the bum, but not by kind of arching our back, say. Okay, use the front leg to push you back into the heel of the back wall. Okay, now making sure that we are square at the hips. So again, you're not twisting and just breathing, nothing crazy here. Okay, so you have this option of just spending the rest of the next minute here, or what you can do from here, okay, if you're feeling good, is you can drive the hips forward. Okay, now we're going to more of a hip flexor, so across the front of the hip joint, okay, by driving the hips forward, okay, just staying in this position. Again, making sure my hips are nice and square, okay, my rib cage is down as much as possible. And again, we're feeling this to the front of the hips rather than the lower back region. The butt ideally is on, okay, just to keep you a little bit more stable and square. As always, just breathing to make sure you get nice, deep into it. And slowly back out of it. Boom. Okay, so we're going to go to the opposite side. So just like normal, laces on, knees as close as we can. But again, this is dictated by how I can posture up, or the quality of my posture. Okay, if we're good, we'll start the time in 3, 2, 1. So just go through those mental checkpoints. Just tilt your butt a little bit so you're tucking. Okay, trying to push into the front leg, okay, to bring the hips back towards the wall behind you, or the bum or the heel. Rib cage is down, so we're not really extending at the back, we're just boom. Breath to allow the body to yield. And make any micro adjustments. Remember we talked about, touching the wall behind you or the couch, so you can gauge where you're at. Maybe you can square yourself off. Okay. Breath is there to help with all of this. That's our first minute. So again, if this is feeling good and you're getting a lot out of it, stay here. Okay, but if you want to explore a little bit, okay, stay different position and then drive the hips forward. Again, without arching the back, rib cage is still down, glutes are on. Okay, so normally, if you start to wobble side to side or lose balance, that's a telltale sign of whether you're twisting or you're not quite stable at the hips. So again, maybe we shouldn't be reaching as far forward to think about, okay, how do you create some stable areas so then you can actually hold the stretch for the prescribed time. Okay, so again, use your breath. Okay, keep running. Try keep that awareness piece going. Okay, so are your hips nice and square? Slowly back it up and down and rest. Okay, that is it, good people. Come on over. Let's have a quick Gary. How are we feeling?
Good.
Hey,